What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith as we continue our 2023 NFL Draft Prospect Series. Man, we have not only a draft gem, this guy is literally one of the best O-linemen in this year's 2023 draft. Man, he's a big reason why the Tennessee Volunteers were successful like they were, man. And everybody loves to Hendon Hooker. He is the man. Matter of fact, he's my favorite quarterback in this year's draft. But we also got to attribute that success to that O-line out there in the trenches doing the dirty work. Therefore, I want to take and welcome at the University of Tennessee, Jerome Carvin, man. Jerome, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing all good, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, man. I know you're a busy man. So, man, thank you for taking time out of your schedule, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely, man. Now, you had your whole college career at the University of Tennessee. You came, saw, you conquered, man. Definitely excited to learn about that story today. But take us from the beginning, man. When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
Yeah, man. I first fell in love with the game of football around like age. I was like six or seven. I started off early on. Dad, took me to youth football league out in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's how I got my start, man. And I fell in love with it ever since then. And just starting as a young kid, I always been a lineman. And so I was a big kid, man, I just fell in love with being an offensive defensive lineman early on and then just transitioned on to just being an offensive lineman, man. I just love it.
What was it like? What was the football scene like in high school growing up in Memphis?
Yeah, so it's honestly crazy. So I actually went to 4 different high schools in Memphis. Just moving around and stuff like that. Hence my mom was in the military, they kind of divorced or whatever. And, just had a rough start, but moved around a lot. Finally settled in a place called Cordova High School for 2 years. And man, it was honestly great. I mean, recruitment went really well. Football in general, Memphis is not really known for football, but we had a lot of talent, coming out, especially when I was coming out. And so, they kind of honestly led me to go to end up at Tennessee.
That's cool, man. That's dope. And living in Memphis, man, did you grow up like a Titans fan or?
Nah. So crazy thing. So my family's really from New Orleans. And so my whole family's from New Orleans. So I grew up a New Orleans Saints fan growing up as a kid. And, it's kind of weird. My dad was a Cowboys fan, and he was like, it's crazy. But no, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan.
That's cool, man. That's dope. My wife is from Louisiana. She's from Mid-City. So
okay, yeah.
We have a house divided, man. But no, I got love for Saints fans. They're great, man. It's good stuff, man. When you were growing up, man, did you ever envision, man, your football skills would take you this far, man?
But when I got to high school, I was like, you know what, like I could see myself taking this professionally. I always had the dream of going to the NFL, and but now I started really believing in my freshman year of high school, and now we're at this point now, and so I'm just blessed to be here.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Was there like an aha moment where you like maybe you pancake someone or laid them out? We're like, man, I got this. Like I'm not your average football player, man. What would you say your aha moment was?
I would say freshman year, just at the school I was at. They had a rule where freshmen couldn't play on varsity. We could just play on freshman team. And so, I was kind of like, man, I think I could play on varsity. I think I'm good enough. And, as the coaches started going on, they actually allowed me to play varsity. And that's when they started talking to me. They're like, man, you got a future in this sport. And that's kind of where I started okay, I can do this.
Now, recently you were in the East-West Shrine Bowl, man. That's a major, major accomplishment. Man, what kind of training has that's went into your routine that's helped you to become the player that you become?
Yeah, just starting off, honestly, strength and conditioning, obviously, man, being in the weight room, doing football specific lifts, as well as just, constantly just staying in shape, especially as an offensive lineman. You don't got to do nothing too crazy, but man, you got to be in shape, man, to be good, honestly. To go against, other 300 pounders and move the guys, so off the ball. So, I'll say starting off, honestly, I was at a training facility called X3 in Fort Myers, Florida. They did a really great job with me down there. I also had an O-line coach. His name was Eugene Chung. So yeah, he was in the NFL for a long time. Honestly, he was an NFL offensive line coach. Most recently with 2017 Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. So he was the O-line coach there.
I'm familiar,
yeah. So honestly, just working out with him. Working on skill work every week. I work out basically 5 times a day. Five times a week, and do skill development probably 3 times a week, and so kind of kept that regimen going for 2 months straight, leading into the East West game.
Man, that's sick, man. That's awesome, man. And let me ask you, we often seen quarterbacks. They got cool names like RG3 and Cam for Cam Newton, Tom Brady's TB12. But not too many O linemen have cool names, man. Let me ask you, do you have any cool nicknames or anything like that?
Cool nickname. I don't think I got a cool nickname, honestly.
Or how about for the O line, for that Tennessee O line?
I mean, I guess you could I guess our school had made during like a little NIL thing. Our school made T-shirts for the whole line. And it was called like the cleanup crew. And so they sold T-shirts with all us on this T-shirt, and you know, sold it to the students and things like that. And it actually did pretty well, you know, at University of Tennessee. So I guess they called it the cleanup crew, and so that was kind of like a little nickname for us.
That's sick. I could see that, man. Y'all were super successful, man. That's dope. Now Tennessee, man. Wow, what a year did y'all have, man?
Yeah.
I was pulling for y'all all the way. I'm more of a fan of college players and teams per se, but man, like seeing what Hendon Hooker, seeing what y'all were doing on the O line, the D line, just everything was connecting. Jalen Hyatt out there catching passes, man.
Yeah.
What was it like this year, man? Being in such an electric room with so many great players, man.
Yeah, you know, they always been there, you know, we always had talent, you know, and things like that, but, you know, kind of just finally put it together that one last year. You know, it was great, you know, being like with a special guy like Hendon Hooker, you know, a leader like him, man, probably one of the best players I've ever been with, honestly. Just how he approached it, you know, the game every day. You know, he was a true professional before he even, you know, got to this point now. So being with him, you know, Jalen, you know, being with him, since seeing him come in the program very young, you know, kind of underweight, small guy, you know, just see where he came to now, you know, Blendenkoff, one of the best college wide receiver in the country. You know, it's huge testament to him and his hard work and ethic, as well as guys like, you know, Cedric Tillman and Darnell Wright, you know, a guy that I'm real close to, me and D. Just seeing him come in, you know, 5-star freshman coming in, you know, we always had talented guys, you know, things like that, you know, just seeing him, you know, going to like a first round tackle now. So, man, we've always been surrounded by talent, and, you know, it kind of grinds you to make you better, you know, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Iron sharpens iron, right?
Most definitely.
Definitely, man. Now, you didn't give up a single sack this last year, man. That stat stands out, man. And like the talent, the teams y'all went up against is amazing. Let me ask you, what was whether it be players or maybe like D lines, what were some of the toughest defenses that you went up against this last year?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, you know, playing in the SEC, you go against the top guys in the country every year, especially at a place like Tennessee. You know, where our non-conference games are even tough as well. So, I'll say this year, honestly, I'll probably the three toughest probably Georgia. Of course, Georgia had a great you know, front seven, as well as you know, Clemson playing them in the Orange Bowl, as well as you can obviously Alabama. You know, Alabama always got a tough group every year you line up against them. So, those probably three that stood out.
Oh yeah, they always say Alabama's like a bad NFL team. Like they're they're really good. They're
very talented everywhere.
You go in there every draft, they got like 15 guys going to the league. I mean, it's a factory over there for sure, man. That's pretty cool, man. What are some of your goals, man? Once draft day happens and you're selected by a team, whether you have to drive to this new location or fly to this new location, what are some of your goals your rookie year and throughout your career?
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, you know, obviously number one, getting drafted, you know, that's a goal for mine, as well as after that, you know, just coming on team, you know, trying to earn the respect of the vets, you know, trying to earn my keep, you know, honestly, earn a job in a sense. So, you know, making an active roster, that's another goal of mine, as well as once I get on the team and earn the active roster role, you know, kind of now starting to, you know, hone in on my game, you know, try to, you know, freshman year, try to, you know, grade out as one of the highest rookie offensive linemen, you know, during this draft, during this year. And then, you know, going forward, you know, you just take a small stepping steps, you know, to get to where I want to go. And that's honestly to be like an all pro, you know what I'm saying? As my NFL career goes on, or, you know, make a Pro Bowl and things like that. That's where like goals, far-fetched goals, but goals I can definitely accomplish.
Definitely, man. Absolutely. And how have your interviews been going? I know a lot of teams, man, that they're definitely probably looking at you. I could imagine, man. How the interviews been going?
Yeah, interviews have been going pretty well. You know, I talked to all 32 teams, but I feel like out of the teams that I talked to really like multiple times, I'll say honestly just going over like board work, you know, showing them how smart I am, you know, being able to play three positions on the line, all three interior spots, you know, as well as, you know, of course, playing center, just showing them how the intelligence to play, the intelligence to get a playbook down and, you know, relay calls and things like that down the line and things like that. stuck out huge to them, and that's what they really like about me, as well as workouts and things like that going on. Just showing them my ability, showing them so my pass pro, showing them how my run blocking and things like that, running outside zones, inside zone, gap schemes, running so I can be in multiple schemes, and just showing them I can do everything.
Man, day one starter right here, man. I love it, man. Like Miami Dolphins, hopefully these. Nah, man, wherever you go, man, you got a fan of me for life, man. So just know that, man. That's cool, man. What would you say some of your like top 3 most memorable moments while playing at the University of Tennessee?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, number one, we got to be beating Alabama this year. Beating them at home, fans rushing the stadium, things like man, getting to smoke a cigar, things like that. That's the first time Tennessee beat them in 15 years. And so, that was a huge moment for the school, a huge moment for our fans, and a huge moment for our program. And hopefully they jump forwards, to the years on. I'll say number 2 would probably be going down to LSU, going to Baton Rouge and beating LSU pretty bad. Beating them boys up. That was a real fun moment. Anytime playing on the road in the SEC, it's real fun. It's real competitive. Very hostile environment. So going down there and beating those guys like that, and beating a good program, a good team like that, man, it was telling. And I'll say the third moment would be winning the Orange Bowl, beating Clemson. That they were the ACC reigning ACC champions. Beating them down to Miami and just in and out my career on a win in the Orange Bowl champion, New Year's Six Bowl champ. So those 3.
I bet you slept like a champ that night, man.
Yeah, man, had a lot of fun in Miami that night.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. Hey, out of all the traveling, I always love. I'm a foodie myself. I don't know about you, man. You travel all throughout the country, man. What would you say some of your favorite cities are for food, man?
Food, yeah, of course, New Orleans. I'll say New Orleans probably got the best food I've had. I'll say Miami has some good spots. Miami has some good spots, definitely local spots too, as well as like Caribbean and Jamaican food, really good down there in Miami. Yeah. And I would say obviously Memphis. I'll say where I'm from, Memphis. We're known for barbecue. I feel like we got great wings and things like that. So a lot of ton of local spots that you can always hit up to, and I'm big like this for a reason, man. Eat food like that, so I love it.
That's cool, man. That's super dope, man. And when you travel to all these like different stadiums, man, I heard you talking about this on the Raw Room when you were on their podcast a little bit. If you elaborate, man, what's probably the nastiest away locker room that you took your whole team was at?
Yeah. So on that podcast, I definitely Auburn. Auburn probably one of the worst ones I've been to. Man, they didn't have doors. They really didn't have doors in the bathroom stalls. So that's crazy. They had no doors, like nothing covering it. So like you can see your teammates using the bathroom. That was crazy. I'll say them. I'll say Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt probably got a bad locker room. Just the size. Like I don't even know how we fit 70 so guys in the locker room, and especially in that little small locker room. It's like a soccer like little like JV soccer locker room. Like it's terrible. It's small, and things like that. Now I would say the third place, worst locker rooms. I would say probably it would have to be Kentucky. Kentucky probably doesn't have a good one either. Things like that. So I mean, they're not meant to be good. It's kind of like a tactic they use, to kind of knock you off your game and things like that. So I feel like every team is. I know ours is probably bad too, but all SEC schools try to do it.
That's funny, man. Yeah, but when I did 1 year college football at New Mexico Highlands University, and there was no toilet paper. No toilet paper. Yeah, I don't think the janitor had been there for a minute, man. So it's flies and stuff like this. Psychological warfare.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool, man. Man, my last question to finish off this amazing interview. And again, thank you so much again for coming on the show, man. Let me ask you, man, what's something you've been interviewed a whole bunch of times, man, but what's something maybe you want NFL teams to take and know about you that perhaps they may not know already?
Man, just honestly, you don't get a effort guy. A guy's gonna come in the building, with put his hard hat on, his work boots on type mentality, and go to work. A guy that's gonna, give his all for the team that I go to, and will earn the respect of my teammates in the locker room, and be a guy that could be a leader, and be a leader in the locker room, and showcase what I can do, showcase my work ethic, and where I gain the respect and trust of my teammates, and just a guy that you can rely on, and you can depend on, and so that's what they're gonna get in a guy like me.
Man, That's so dope, man. Well, man, Jerome, thank you so much again for taking and coming on the show, man. It's I always love having all different positions on the field, man. You know, on the show, oftentimes I get a lot of the receivers, running backs, and you know the guys that make the big plays, man. But we got to give respect to the O linemen, man. Guys like you, man. So thank you so much again, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Any shout outs before you go?
You know, shout out to all my guys that's in the draft right now. You know, shout out to, you know, all the draft guys, whether it's Hendon, you know, Sid, Jalen, Darnell, Byron Young, you know, Latrell Bumpus, those guys, Prince of Fant, all those guys, man. You know, they're my brothers for life. You know, we're all chasing the dream. So shout out to those guys, man.
There you have it, folks. And you can go down below in the description of this video. I'm gonna have all of his social media stuff down below. Make sure you give this man a follow. Also as well, go down below, leave a comment, let us know how this interview took and made you feel, man. Jerome, man, thank you so much again. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.